Another mad long weekend of football. Mad weekend. A lot of revelations. Obviously, a lot of injuries have been coming out. Certain players are obviously going to miss the World Cup and that. Um, yeah, mad week. Mad week. We'll get into it first because I do believe this first game, Manchester City versus Brentford from the Etihad, was, for me, game of the weekend, just based on the fact of what happened, and then obviously finding out afterwards what happened to Ivan Toney. So obviously Brentford won the game 2-1. Shocking scoreline. I'm gonna be honest. That was Brentford's first win of the season away from home, and they get it at the best team in the land at the moment. So really good from them. Brentford are on the front foot. Completely shackled Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne. They did a number on them. Very well. Highly unexpected. I expected Man City to blow them out of the water, to be quite honest. I anticipated a 3-0, 4-0 kind of game. But Brentford showed up and showed what they're about. Showed some good football, man. Really good. Ivan Toney obviously got the 2 goals. Phil Foden for Manchester City. And then obviously you're finding out revelations about Ivan Toney now, obviously with regards to this betting scandal going on. I think he's being charged on 232 separate sort of bits with regards to his betting. So 232 different units, I think they're saying. So it's looking like a lengthy ban. Obviously, I think he's been charged now as we speak, yeah. So he's looking at lengthy time out. I'm talking sort of half a year type, which is obviously unfortunate for him. Because he was in the form of his life. I think 10 Premier League goals already in 16 games or something like that. That's good going for a striker that's literally been in the Premier League 2 seasons. But yeah, scandals are scandals. But it is about the 3 points as well for Brentford. Good win for them. Manchester City just I don't even know. I don't want to say Man City weren't at it because Man City seemed to always be on it, but they had a number put on them. Brentford came with a plan, executed it very well, soaked up all the pressure, broke down the wings. Rico, is it Rico? What's his name? The right back, the left back. really good. Getting up and down the pitch. He always has another lung, to be quite honest, the way he's marauding up and down that left-hand side. Yeah, no, very impressed with Brentford. 2-1 victory there at the Etihad. Not many teams will go there and do that to Manchester City, so it's a massive win for them. Anfield, Liverpool 3, Southampton 1. Nathan Jones' first game in charge of Southampton. Liverpool ran out easy winners in the end. I did call it a 2-1 victory to Liverpool, depending on what kind of Liverpool showed up. I did say Southampton will probably score as well with that new manager bounce. And Southampton were in the game for about half an hour. And Liverpool obviously just flexed their muscle. They seem to be back on form as well at the moment. Climbed up to 6th in the league now, so their charge for the top 4 is now on. Liverpool 3, Southampton 1 from Anfield. That was Bournemouth 3, Everton 0. So this one's a bit of a strange one for me. I did call this one a draw. I'll tell you why. I thought Everton were in good form. I didn't think they were conceding too many, and I always thought that they'd be able to hit Bournemouth on the break. Nothing like that happened at the Vitality Stadium. My goodness, Bournemouth put them in a spliff. In the words of expressions, Jesus Christ, they got put in a spliff. Folded like a deck chair, folded like a panini, put in a sandwich, however you want to put. Yeah, Everton got roasted differently. Bournemouth came to play and showed them what was good. I understand Bournemouth have been in talks with Bielsa. Why wouldn't you give Gary O'Neill the opportunity to obviously do what he keeps on doing? Bournemouth have been in good form since he's taken charge. Everton just have nothing. They had a decent flurry, but now they look like they're back into relegation fodder, which was something I said would happen at the start of the season. So Everton are starting to fluctuate between that for me. So they're going to sort of be between the 15th, 20th positions for me. I'm not sure where they're going to finish. I don't know. They just don't seem to be at anything at the moment. They're not on nothing, not one bit. And Bournemouth basically showed them who's boss. Bournemouth actually played decent stuff as well. They're actually very good. They're very direct. I like the style that they're appointing at the moment, and it seems to be working for them. So, you know, happy days for them. I still think, again, they're going down, but they're holding their own at the moment. So you can't ask for any more than that. 3-0 from the Vitality, Bournemouth versus Everton. Bournemouth 3-0 winners there. London Stadium, West Ham 0, Leicester 2. I got this result right. Didn't get the correct score, but got the result. I did say Leicester will beat them 2-1. So it proved. I think West Ham are just suffering from tiredness, to be quite honest. European game obviously midweek, and then obviously come into play on a Sunday against Leicester, who are flying at the moment as well. Good away result against Everton last week. And then this, yeah, Leicester I thought will be fine. They still need to add in January, but they seem to have found a cohesive at the moment. They've got an 11 now that they can actually rely on. Jamie Vardy's obviously coming on for sort of 20 minutes, half an hour cameos now. James Maddison, in the form of his life at the minute, scores another goal. Now gone to the World Cup. He's on the plane. They're out there now. It's good. It's good for Leicester. It's really, really good for them. Never thought they'd go down. I thought they'd be in a little bit of trouble, but they seem to be, you know, picking up points at the right time at the minute. And it's needed. It's needed. Leicester are a very, very decent unit when they're all on song. So it's good to see that they're back on track at the moment. After West Ham, it's nothing much I could really say. There's been not much change from them for the best part of about 3-4 weeks now. So it's difficult to see where the next win is coming from, to be honest, because they can't seem to buy a win at home at the moment. Away from home is not much better. I mean, they were decent at Man United last week, and I thought they should have won that game. But again, it shows if you're not finishing your chances, this is what's going to happen, especially in this league. This league is ruthless. But they should obviously know that. So 2-0 victory for Leicester at London Stadium. We'll go to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham 4, Leeds United 3. I did say at the time that Spurs will probably win it 2-1. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? Thinking that we can actually defend. We can't defend for nothing. We can't defend anything. We're worse. We are worse than a polo. We have so many holes in the middle. We are bad. We are so bad defensively. And Conte needs to fix it. But we won out 4-3 winners in the end. We were 1-0 down, 2-1 down, 3-2 down throughout the entire game, and eventually ended up winning the game 4-3 somehow. So many chances. We were actually the better team. But this is what happens when you don't kill teams off. Especially a team like Leeds that keep on going. They don't seem to stop. And they'll always attack. They'll always score goals. Defensively, they're shocking as well. They're probably worse than us somehow, if that's even possible. But happy with the win, obviously. Bentancur, another 2 goals. He's starting to find his feet properly now. Probably been our best player this season. Obviously, you know, Kane's obviously got the goals. I know that. 11 goals a season for Kane now in the Premier League alone. But Bentancur is actually proven to be one of our best players. Kulusevski, we don't need to say much more about him. We know how I feel about him already. One of our better players. Has been since he's come in January, obviously. But yeah, 4-3, 4th in the league at the moment before this World Cup break. I would have taken that start of the season. Still in the Champions League, still the FA Cup to come. Obviously got knocked out of the Carabao, not at Nottingham Forest, which I'm not happy about because I think that was a winnable competition. But all things all, I'm happy. I'm quite happy with that, to be quite honest with you. Speaking of Nottingham Forest, another victory. And I say that with a big smile on my face because I don't think Forest are getting relegated. I keep on saying it every week. Everyone's like, yeah, Forest will go down. I don't see it. Forest have a very good squad, and I'll say it again till I'm blue in the face. Steve Cooper needs time. If Forest keep on going the way they're going to stay up. Their home form is absolutely magnificent at the moment this season. And they're going very well. They do score goals. They can cause you problems. As Crystal Palace found out this weekend. And they've got another clean sheet. They are not a bad outfit. If they get a settled 11, Nottingham Forest will be a problem for a lot of teams this season. And they won't go down. I don't see Forest going down. They're going to be my surprise package along with Newcastle, who we're going to go to next. Winning 1-0 St James's Park against Chelsea. Chelsea aren't at it. Every time I say Chelsea is solid, you know, they look like they can, you know, bowl teams over. They're so strong defensively. They end up letting themselves down. And it's funny to see, to be quite honest. I'm not laughing at, actually I am. I'm laughing at Chelsea wholeheartedly. But I like Graham Potter. I would have preferred if he stayed at Brighton because he was building something really good there. And I wanted to see how far Brighton could go. But when a team like Chelsea come calling, you have to, you know, you've got to take it. You have to take it. I get that. But they are so bad right now. So bad. I don't see where their goals are coming from. They are conceding goals left, right and centre. Newcastle were no different this weekend. Not a goal from Almiron. Though he did get the assist. Willock got the goal. What a goal that was as well. Amazing strike with his right foot right into the top corner. Mendy had not a chance with it at all. Chelsea just didn't create nothing. And that's all they're doing now, is conceding and not creating. And that's not the best recipe at this moment in time. I'm not seeing who's putting the ball in the back of the net. Aubameyang's far too old at the moment. He doesn't have the legs to do it no more. I think he's 33 now. Broha's too young. Havertz is not a striker. Obviously, they got rid of Timo Werner in the summer. I don't see who's scoring their goals, to be quite honest. I actually think Chelsea's squad is actually bang average. What was the point in signing Sterling? What was the point of Raheem Sterling? I don't understand. It's a sticky one for them, and they need to address that come the return of the Premier League, which I believe is on like the 23rd or something like that. And then obviously you've got January transfer window, and yeah, Chelsea need a few signings there. So not sure who they've been linked with, but they need a striker absolutely, and maybe another creative midfielder, because Conor Gallagher stinks. I don't think Mason Mount's that good anyway. Jorginho doesn't really create much. Kovacic is a tidy footballer, keeps the ball going, but he doesn't really have that incisive killer pass. Long may it continue, though. I don't want Chelsea to sign these players. I'm just sort of pinpointing the problems they have at the moment. But another loss for them. Newcastle winners at St James's Park. Wolverhampton versus Arsenal at Molineux. Nobody saw Wolverhampton beating Arsenal. Not one person saw this. I was hoping for it, because I do hope Arsenal lose every single game this season and it's not panned out like I want it to. It will after the World Cup, I'm certain of this. But Wolverhampton gave a good account of themselves in the first half. They ended up losing the game 2-0. Martin Odegaard scoring both the goals, annoyingly. I think Wolves are in big trouble. If they get their injuries back, I see them beating a few teams, but I don't see them holding a consistent run at the minute. But they play really good football, and I know Lopetegui's there, and I'd said it before, they have the technical players to get them out of trouble, but will it be too late by then? I'm not entirely sure on them. I think defensively they're still poor. Attacking wise, they should be scoring a lot more goals than they are. They've got a lot of attacking talent, and they're not doing anything with it at the moment. So obviously after the World Cup we'll see a lot more. But Arsenal winning 2-0 again, 5 points clear at the top now, obviously because of Manchester City's loss. So they take a nice healthy 5-point lead at the top of the table going into Christmas. So that's where we're at the moment. I know the whole country is literally in tears right now. It's so depressing. Brighton versus Aston Villa. A little bit of a shock, this one. Brighton from the Amex, because Brighton are usually very good at home and obviously are always on the front foot. New manager bounce again, Unai Emery. 2 wins and 2 now in the Premier League since he's been back. Once obviously last week impressively against Man United. This week against Brighton. Very good game as well. Very good game end to end. But I think Aston Villa in the end just had the nous. Danny Ings scoring twice there. Brighton gave a good account of themselves, and again, Brighton are not one of them teams that I worry about, because they do play really attractive football and can hurt you. But again, they do need a striker. They haven't got a striker, and I think that's hindering them. So I do believe a striker will be top of their agenda come the January transfer window as well. But 2-1 victory to Aston Villa takes them away from the relegation zone as well. So they're sitting a lot more comfortably now. 6 points in 6 for Unai Emery. So things are looking a bit rosier for them at the moment. Final game of the weekend, obviously before the World Cup, was at Craven Cottage. Fulham 1, Manchester United 2. No Ronaldo in sight. And obviously amidst everything that's been happening, obviously with regards to the World Cup and everything else, Ronaldo decides to have an interview with Piers Morgan, and boy, the revelations that have been coming out of that, wow. I think his career is done at Man United, to be quite honest. I don't see him coming back. I think he'll be on the move up. I see him in the MLS somewhere. I think he'll get an Inter Miami kind of deal there, to be quite honest. I don't see him going to like Qatar or China, to be quite honest. I see him going to the States. I don't think any club is going to match his wages here. Obviously going to the States brings a lot of star power to the MLS, And he'll do that sevenfold, to be quite honest with you. I don't see Chelsea forking out for him. I don't see PSG going back in for him either. Sporting potentially going back home, I can see that. Just realised I'm in the Sporting colours at the moment, green and white. Potentially. But the game itself, decent game. I thought Fulham were very, very good. Gave a good account of themselves. Missed Mitrovic badly though, because their style is obviously based around him, and obviously balls into the box, he's probably going to get his head in it and score a few. But they didn't have him as a focal point, so it was very difficult for them. But they played some very tidy things and had a lot of chances. David De Gea was very inspirational, shall we say. Very, very good again with his feet. Very good with his hands, as usual, as you'd expect from a top keeper like that. And Garnacho was on the score sheet again. Very good player, Garnacho. Very, very good player. Got his wicked burst of energy. Where he just seems to sort of, glide past players, and, players can't really seem to touch him. That's kind of what happened. It looked like he wasn't getting to that ball in the final minute, and then all of a sudden he's in front of the defender, holding him off and then slotting it into the corner. Very, very slowly. Lovely finish, though. Really, really good finish. Really good for United as well, obviously. Takes them up to fifth in the league, yeah. Not far behind the top four at the moment. I think they're 3 points behind us, but our goal difference is obviously superior. But yeah, 2-1 Man United at Craven Cottage against Fulham. There is no game obviously now for the next best part of about 4 or 5 weeks. Obviously the World Cup is on. I won't be doing any videos for the World Cup. Don't really agree with the ethics of it being in Qatar. I think it's all money related. It's all politics. Don't really agree with some of their rules either. Don't agree with how they treat their people, to be quite honest with you. So I'm not going to be investing time going through the ins and outs of the World Cup and, giving you videos of what's happening and results and things. Not my bag. I'm not really interested, to be honest. I don't really have that much interest in this World Cup. And there've been a lot of injuries for the World Cup, as I stated before. I think Sadio Mane is completely out now. That was said yesterday. I think Nico Gonzalez is out for Argentina now, so he's dropped. And Nkunku for France, he's out. Obviously, adding to that, Pogba and Kante, they're also out. England, they've got a few. I think Reece James is out. Ben Chilwell was out. Yeah, there's a few. I think every single team is struggling at the moment, and there's going to be a few more casualties as well. So, yeah, that'll be me for the best part of a month maybe. So I'll definitely be back, obviously, when the Premier League returns in about a month, 5 weeks time. In the meantime, enjoy the World Cup if you're watching it. Enjoy the next few weeks, of course. And obviously I'll see you around about Christmas time. Until then, speak to you later.